We all have questions.
What is it that hinders me, stopping me from getting to where I want to go?
Find the answers on The Dani Johnson Show.
You can't reach for anything if your hands are still full of yesterday's junk.
Keep moving forward with Dani Johnson,
so that you can get to the destiny that you're after. There is another way to live, my friend. There is.
This is The Dani Johnson Show.
Welcome to The Dani Johnson Show. Hi, and I'm so glad that you chose to join us today. And today we're going to be talking about money, which for some is a very negative topic, and for others is an exciting topic. For others, it's an addictive topic. And for others, they're completely ignorant to the topic, which is exactly how I was 27 years ago, where I had no financial upbringing at all. I didn't have any bit of understanding about money, how it should be used, where to put it, where not to put it. Investing, what in the world was that? I had no concept of that growing up on welfare with a drug-infested and violently abusive home. There was no talk about money other than this. We don't have any. That was the main topic, and a lot of fighting that happened because of there being a lack of money. That's what happens when you live on welfare. And I'm talking about welfare back then, friend. Come on. Welfare today is completely different than welfare when I was a kid. I remember my mom going through the grocery store with her little clicker, and seeing the price of an item and clicking it in and putting it in the cart, and then going to the next item and clicking it in, going, whoops, we can't afford that. She had this little calculator clicker thing that told her when she was about to hit the end of the food stamps that she had that week to be able to blow on groceries. And so money was not a good subject. It wasn't really a subject other than we don't have any. We can't afford that. We don't have the money. We're always broke. That was pretty much the extent of the financial verbal education that we had. And the nonverbal investment education that I had, or actually not investment, but financial education, was blowing all that they made every week, living paycheck to paycheck. Even after my mom had suffered a terrible, tragic accident where my mom was a victim of, a broken neck. She was paralyzed from the neck down, was never to walk again, and she was the victim of doctors making decisions without consulting her first, so obviously there was a malpractice issue, and by the time I was 14, my parents had now changed their financial situation tremendously. We went from living in a little 800 square foot house on a very busy street on Grant Avenue in Redondo Beach, California, to moving up in Northern California, a place called Redding, California. Actually, it was outside of Redding. Palo Cedro, California had a population of like 700 people. But they then bought a house, and then they bought a Cadillac, and they bought a Jeep with a big camper on the end of it, and they bought a 34 Buick, and they bought a boat, and they built a barn, and they bought houses, and they bought a big old fat diamond for my mom's hand. Oh, and then we went from pasta, cheap pasta with just a little bit of margarine and garlic salt on it, to now steaks almost every night for dinner. And you'll never guess what happened. And that happened from the time I was 14 until I was 16 when I moved out of the house. What intensified was the violence in the house after the money came. The other thing that intensified was more fights about money, and they were still living paycheck to paycheck. Isn't that crazy? I remember after about a year of my family now living in this new way, and now we were shopping at JCPenney's instead of the thrift store or getting the hand-me-downs from the neighbor, the attorneys who fought for my mother's case and fought for the money that she received, they asked her how much she had left. She barely had anything left. So they took that money. They convinced her, listen, Darlene, you're going to be, at this rate, you will be completely flat broke and back on welfare again if you do not allow us to take the rest of the money and put it into some annuities. Let us put it in a place where you're going to get paid every single month for the rest of your life. And sure enough, fortunately, my parents yielded to that really sound and wise advice. And therefore, my mom has had a consistent income since that time. And it's a very healthy income. But check this out. They still lived paycheck to paycheck. And as far as I know, it might still be going on. Paycheck to paycheck, running out before the month is even over. So isn't that interesting that you could go from like $500 a month on welfare, including food stamps, to $10,000 in a month and still living paycheck to paycheck? Unfortunately, that's how it goes for most of us. It really does. That's how it did for me when I first started in my first business. Yeah, I remember making my first $4,500. I blew it all on clothes. I did. Isn't that crazy, nuts, and stupid? And then my next income, I started to grow my income and got it up to $11,000, and I blew it on some business expenses and some more clothes. And then once I then totally messed up, I maxed out my credit cards, traveling everywhere, which again, the travel was all for business seminars, and those were investments that I was making. But the clothes I didn't need. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't need to eat out every day. I certainly didn't need to eat out for lunch and dinner every single day. That was kind of stupid, and I did that on my credit cards. So if there wasn't enough money left of the $11,000 that I made that month, well, guess what? Then the rest of it went on credit cards. So, and where did I learn that habit? I obviously learned it from the home. My parents lived paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, and always worried about and always striving for more money, and more money was never enough. Unfortunately, that's how a lot of people live. I'm not the only one, and neither are you. In fact, here's the facts and the statistics. 98% of the population will end up dead or dead broke at the age of 65, dependent on their family, friends, and federal government for their main source of income. Think about that, my friend. I know if you've listened to the show every single day, you've heard me say that a lot. But I don't want those words to just graze your ears. Think about those words. Do you want to be 65 and dependent on your family, friends, and federal government for your main source of income? Recently, we had a sweet, precious woman call in on one of the spiritual equipping shows, and where the second hour of that show, we just focus on slugging on heaven's doors with our listeners and crying out to God on their behalf and bringing their petitions, their requests before God. Well, this was an elderly woman who called in, and she says she's on Social Security, and Dani, I need a financial breakthrough because I don't have enough money to live off of. I don't have enough money to pay my electric bill. It literally broke my heart to hear that, because here is a woman that is in that age bracket that isn't dead at 65, but is alive, however, financially sick, in a place where she is struggling financially, and said, I have no one to help me. I have to figure out a solution. Do you want to do that? Come on, think about it. And I remember when I first heard those numbers, I thought to myself, well, I'm certainly probably going to end up in that bracket because I don't come from money. I come from broke people. I'm not educated. I'm not smart. I hadn't even read a book yet at that time. Yes, I made it all the way through high school without reading a single book. So I just knew that somehow I'd end up in that 98%. And then I met a woman. Imagine this, you're at McDonald's. And there's a sweet, sweet, sweet elderly woman with that tight little curly white perm. And she's got her little McDonald's uniform on, and she's carrying a stack of trays that seem to be about half her size. She brings the trays over to one table. She sets them down. She wipes the table that is behind her. And then she picks up the trays, moves it to the next table, goes back, wipes the next table, wipes the sweat from her brow. I was so intrigued when I saw her. And I went up to her and I said, how long have you worked here? And she told me. And I said, do you like your job here? And she says, I'm just happy to have a job, honey. And I looked at her perplexed, with my eyebrows kind of crossed, like, really? What do you mean you're just happy to have a job? She says, well, Social Security and our pension are not enough for my husband and I to pay our rent. So both of us have to work. I was like, what? Oh, man. I said, ma'am, could I ask you how old you are? She says, I'm 89. I'll be 90 next month. What? What? How could that be? This was in Concord, California, which is the suburbs, if you will, of the San Francisco Bay Area. And sitting there in that McDonald's, I'm 20 years old, and I'm looking in the face, the eyes, and the worn skin, the hunched up shoulders of that 98% that ends up either dead or dead broke at the age of 65. That day, my friend, when I saw the statistic face to face, I kind of made a vow. I don't want to end up like that. I kind of got upset, wouldn't you? What would you be thinking during that conversation? Right away, I thought, where are her children, her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren? How come nobody is taking care of them? They worked hard to take care of their own family, and no one is taking care of them. It broke my heart into tiny little pieces. But it helped me to make a decision that I needed to get serious about this 2% versus 98%, that I didn't want to end up dependent on other people or having to work when my body's broken down and I don't have the energy to do it. Being forced to work when I should be enjoying my great-grandchildren instead. So 2% of the population is financially independent. Only 2% out of all of the people in this great place, in this current world, 2% will be financially independent when they reach that age of 65 and over. Where do you want to be? How are you going to get there? Well, today I'm going to share with you a few little tips, a few secrets that can really improve your finances and help maybe you and me both to think more like investors. Because I've got to be reminded each and every week myself about my finances, because it's really easy to get off track and to get sucked into how everybody else is living. We live in this culture that loves conveniences. We love things fast, and we love to have options. So that culture is pressing in on me just as it is pressing in on you. But we've got to have a financial vision that is bigger than our conveniences, bigger than our options. We've got to learn to think like investors and to see money as they do, as 2% of the population does. They see money as seed. They see money as seed. And seed is designed to grow. It comes with everything that is needed to reproduce itself. So we're going to get into some pretty in-depth conversation and helping you the best that we can. We don't have all the answers, but we might have a couple. We might have the one that you're looking for. My phone number is 844-200-3264. Now, friend, the lines are going to light up, and I want to make sure you get in. So you might want to write this number down now. If you have questions about investing or fears about that or things that you have invested into that have really turned out really well, if you got any questions at all about where to put money, where not to put money, 844-200-3264. And how can you start young, right? Why do you have to wait till you're older? You don't. 844-200-3264. I'm looking forward to talking to you. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Making money does not necessarily mean you're creating wealth. That's coming up on The Dani Johnson Show.
Radio talk show host Dani Johnson in Kadwa, Haiti.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson, and I'm here with Vida in her tiny little home. This home is the size of many people's closets in the United States of America. Now, we're sitting on a bed, just a piece of sheet or plastic that these beautiful babies sleep on. They have nothing. This family has nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Won't you do something? The Bible says that if you ignore the cry of the poor, then you too will cry and be ignored. They're not asking for nice clothes. They're asking for food. That's it. Food, water. You can help. We want to build her a home. We want to bring water, clean, fresh water here. But we can't do it alone. We need you.
Help us radically change a community. Go to kingsransom.org to make your donation to Kadwa, Haiti. That's kingsransom.org.
Is God calling you to the entertainment industry? Do you want to rise for Him? Do you want to be an actor, model, singer, or dancer and shine for God? Do you think the world needs better role models? Do you want to be a star for the Most High God? Actors, models, and talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. A new generation of Christian performers is rising. Call 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. God gave you talent for a reason, and that is to shine for Him. So we are searching for actors, models, singers, and dancers. Go to amtcaudition.com to find out when and where the next free audition will be held. Entertainment is the best opportunity for Christians to change the world, and the time is now. Are you ready for that call? 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. That's actors, models, and talent for Christ. Register for your audition today. Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money, and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Dani sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today.
With all the changes happening in healthcare, Christians want to know, is there any option that's God-honoring, affordable, and acceptable under the law? The answer is Medishare. It's not insurance. It's a nationwide community of believers who share each other's medical bills. Unlike individual insurance plans, which are now required to cover the morning after pill, your healthcare dollars never pay for things that go against your beliefs. There's no enrollment period, so you could sign up anytime. You choose your doctors from America's largest provider network. And yes, it's affordable. Family options average around $300 a month. Medishare is healthcare Christians can believe in.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your health care. For your free information guide, call 855-90-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. Medishare, affordable biblical health care. Call 855-90-BIBLE. That's 855-90-BIBLE.
Dani Johnson here, and you're listening to The Dani Johnson Show with tens of thousands of people just like you. People thinking about what you think about, talking about what you talk about, and needing the same products and services you need. It's a place where like-minded consumers gather, savvy business owners, marketing directors, and responsive individuals making significant buying decisions. From consumer home goods and services to business products, people just like you needing the same things you need. They should be buying your product and service or doing business with your company. I'd love to help. To find out how to advertise on this show, email info@intelerep.com. That's info@INTELEREP.com. Or call 251-928-9400. That's info@intelerep.com or 251-928-9400.
Hello.
Improving the quality of your life. The Dani Johnson Show.
I love it.
You don't want to die broke, do you? And you don't want to struggle for the rest of your life financially, do you? Well, if the answer is, Dani, no way do I want to struggle financially. No way do I always want to be broke. And no way do I want to have this huge monster, green, hairy hulk of a monster called debt suffocating me at night while I'm trying to sleep. Well, friend, today is a day where you can make some new financial choices. Today is a day where you can have a brand new, fresh financial start. And that's what we're talking about today. How do we have a fresh financial start? How can we begin taking the steps towards thinking like an investor, learning how to invest, what to invest into? Do you have to be smart to be an investor? Well, I have barely a high school education. I've been an investor since 19. I made my first investment into business at the age of 19, not knowing anything about what I was doing. And I still don't know a lot about what I am doing. I just know the things that I've invested into and what I yielded out of it. What I can tell you is that by the time I was 23, I had made my first million in business. I've made millions of dollars since that time. I've helped many other people do the same. And at the very least, we've had so many, hundreds of thousands of our clients increase their incomes to the tune of multiplying it, doubling it, or tripling it, as well as some who have made the choice not to increase their income, but they, on the same income, have annihilated their debt, paying off hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt. So if you want help in this area and you're saying, no, Dani, I do not want to die broke. No, I don't want to be struggling financially for the rest of my life. And I certainly don't want to pass that habit on to my kids, then call me right now, 844-200-3264. Again, that's 844-3264. And if you have overcome the fear of investing, if you've overcome that, then we want to hear your story. We want to know how did you overcome and what areas did you begin to make investments into? Because I believe that you and I together, we can help a lot of people who are listening to this program from all over the world right now. And we can help to stop the bleeding that's happening internally and externally inside of the financial body of believers as well as the body of human beings that are out there. We do not need to continue bleeding internally and externally with financial decisions that help us to fail and help the next generation to fail. So over here I've got on line 6, we have Leticia from Turlock, California. Turlock, California, girl, I've been there. It's beautiful and very hot this time of year.
Yes, it is.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you. My question is, what are the first steps to investing, and how do I determine which investments are best?
Okay.
I have a small business. My husband's job doesn't offer a retirement program, so we're looking at investing so that we can build our own wealth and not have to wait until, it's too late to say, where's all our money?
Okay. Well, how old are you?
I'm 29.
Yay, you're young. So this is a great question to be asking at 29. It's a great question to ask at 16. It's a great question even to ask at 69. But I'm proud of you that you and your husband are thinking along those lines and you're not dependent on your husband's job having an investment opportunity. And so that's very wise that you're actually asking this question. Leticia, are you a first-time listener to the Dani Johnson Show?
I'm not. I've dialed in a few times before.
Good. Okay, well, I want to make sure that you've gotten your copy of First Steps to Wealth as a gift of being a listener on the show. Have you gotten your copy of First Steps to Wealth?
I got that when it was a free promotion, and
Woo!
I'm actually putting into use on how to pay down my debt.
Good job. Good job. Just wanted to make sure that you got a hold of that because there's a chapter in here on investing and where to start investing. And those 2 chapters on war on debt are powerful with teaching you where to find the money to annihilate the debt and take a portion of that money and then start to invest it into different things. So anyway, to answer your question, the question of where do I start? Okay, well, first of all, where are your interests? What are you familiar with? Are you guys into real estate? Are you into gold and silver? What kind of things, let's say even historically throughout both of your family members, are you familiar with?
We're both not familiar with anything other than a 401k. I, like you, come from a very poor family, and my husband's parents do have 401ks, but they're also trying to find other ways to get income.
Right.
And we just don't want to be stuck in that position.
Yep. Okay. Well, then you sound like what my husband and I were. The answer is no investing history. That's what the answer is. So I got that. That's where we came from. So again, you got to cut your teeth eventually on something. And so the very first place I invested into was into business. I started my own business. And that was the very first time I took money not to buy something that I would wear or eat, but I would buy something, and I bought a business for myself is where I started with there. If that's not something that you want to do, if you got kids in the house or whatever, then hold on just one second. We got to take a quick break, and I'll give you a couple of other ideas of what we did that might work for you. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
In life, there is no free ride. Are you investing in your life? We'll talk about that on the Dani Johnson Show next.
Is God calling you to the entertainment industry? Do you want to rise for Him? Do you want to be an actor, model, singer, or dancer and shine for God? Do you think the world needs better role models? Do you want to be a star for the Most High God? Actors, models, and talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. A new generation of Christian performers is rising. Call 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. God gave you talent for a reason, and that is to shine for Him. So we are searching for actors, models, singers, and dancers. Go to amtcaudition.com to find out when and where the next free audition will be held. Entertainment is the best opportunity for Christians to change the world, and the time is now. Are you ready for that call? 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. That's actors, models, and talent for Christ. Register for your audition today.
Ever wondered how to advertise on the Dani Johnson Show with tens of thousands of people just like you listening? Thinking about the things you do? Talking about the things you do, and needing products and services you need? Savvy business owners and marketing directors advertise on The Dani Johnson Show. Advertise your products or services on The Dani Johnson Show. Email info@intellerep.com or call 251-928-9400, 251-928-9400.
Helping you get a grip on your priorities and your focus. The Dani Johnson Show. Here's Dani Johnson.
You know, sometimes we come from places that really don't give us a leg up or a springboard into learning about money. And that's exactly where we were. We didn't come from a family of investors or business people or anything like that. My side of the family, pretty much, there was a few people that had jobs and did a pretty good job holding them down, but there was a lot of people that couldn't hold down any jobs, and then a bunch of welfare recipients and drug addicts. So we didn't have a great start financially, but that's no excuse, because if you're in the same place and you didn't have a great start financially, meaning from the upbringing or the people that were around you, or you made some really bad financial mistakes in the beginning, it's okay. You can press reset, just like you can on your phone or your computer. This is a reset. Today is a financial reset where you can begin to learn how to navigate these beginning investing steps. And so joining me right now is Letitia from Turlock, California. Very hot place during the summer, but absolutely gorgeous. We were talking about that she came from a similar place that we did, and that she didn't have a lot of financial training. There's not a lot of investors in the family, so she wouldn't know anything about it. But so Letitia, and I'm proud of you, I really am, that you're asking this question. So the first thing that I invested into at 19 was a business. And was that to become an investor? No. I literally ended up in some type of a presentation that was selling businesses. And I borrowed money to start in that first business, and I failed miserably those first 6 months. And then I heard about some training, business training seminars that I could go to, and didn't have the money, but I invested. That was my next investment, was into my education. Not a college education, but from a millionaire who was successful in business. And so I began to study under him in a room with 300 other people, or 400 or 600, depending on where the seminar was and what time of the year it was. But anyway, so that was the next place that I invested, into learning about money, learning about business, learning how to communicate with people, because I didn't have a clue to save my life on how to talk to people or present something to them. So that was my second investment, was into education. And so if you and your husband are starting from that bottom level, like where do I start? I would begin to pick up books, as well as go to some training seminars that teach on investing. Make this something that you really get committed to. And I'm glad that you already have the book First Steps to Wealth, which is teaching you how to manage your money, how to pay off your debt, and how to take a part of that and become an investor. But investing really, it happens a lot through trial and error. It starts off a little shaky, and it actually, throughout your history, it will be shaky. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. And so my third investment was a house. That was the third thing that I made a purchase into, and I've been, my husband and I have been buying and selling houses for, well, since that time, 20-something years for me, 23 years for me. And my first property I bought when I was 21 years old. And that, by the way, was in San Ramon, California, not too far away from where you're calling in from. So real estate has been something that's been really profitable for us. We've made millions of dollars in real estate. And that's from, again, buying and selling and flipping houses, rental properties, which we've done okay on, land, purchasing raw land, letting, rather than having the money in the bank, we've had to learn how to read the market. And so that's a couple of ideas that I talk about in First Steps to Wealth. But you have to pick something, and you've got to understand that it's going to take a bit of an education to learn it. So start to learn. You have to learn both with money and experience, but also learn from other people that are doing it. And I'd be asking around, who do you know or who can you meet that is an investor? I'm not talking about they work for Charles Schwab. I'm saying they're an investor. And so I would be networking. Who do I know that knows somebody that makes investments, and how well have they done? And can you have coffee with them and start to learn? And that's pretty much what we have done. It's kind of worked out for us pretty well, to the tune of millions of dollars. I'm sure that it's going to work out really well for you too. So as long as you pay attention and you follow directions. So that's my answer, Letitia. Thank you so much for calling in and being a listener on the Dani Johnson Show. All right, we've also got Idalia from California. California's hot on the line actually right now. Idalia, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. Well, my husband and I, we overcame our fear of investing into something that you don't normally hear about on TV or the mainstream media, and that's precious metals. And the way that we overcame our fear, well, we first heard about it from you at First Steps to Success, and it sparked our interest. And then I heard you advise someone to call Kirk Elliott. So we went ahead and called him, and he took the time, maybe an hour and a half of his time, to educate us on precious metals and why that is a good investment over the phone. So we continue to do our own research. We picked up a few books, and we completely overcame that fear. So we took our savings that were in the bank, and it was a substantial amount of savings, and we invested everything into precious metals. Wow. And we are continuing to invest every month, and that's because of the education that we have gotten into as of late. So it's been really great.
Wow.
So thank you, Dani, for planting that seed.
Wow. Idalia, I'm so excited for you. That's amazing. And you know what's so powerful about this is that you now know to take the money off of the table so that it is not so easy for you to grab it to go shopping with or to go on a vacation with or to do something stupid with. You know what I mean? Because we have access to money, we have a tendency of doing dumb things with it. And so you're taking the money off of the table and putting it into something that's solid and historical. And so we've done a lot with precious metals. And honestly, I have to credit my husband on that. Because I remember when he came to me the first time, Idalia, it's a hilarious story. First time he came to me, he says, honey, he goes, I want to make a pretty big investment into buying some gold. And I'm like, really? Okay. What do you mean a big investment into gold? Are you like thinking like $5,000? Idalia? He's like, oh no, much bigger than that. I'm like, what? Talk about fear of investing into something that you don't know. So I'm proud of you that you and your husband broke that fear of investing into something you don't know, and you did it by education. And that really helps. Learning from other people, doing your own research. Yes, talking to an expert into gold and silver, but more importantly, cross-referencing that expert. You know what I mean? You don't just listen to everything that they say, but you got to research what they've said, get opinions from a few other people, and certainly don't be taking heed of the opinions of those that are not committed, because there's always somebody who bought a little bit of gold and went, it didn't work, it didn't work for me, that was stupid. They weren't learning. They weren't becoming an investor. And becoming an investor is going to take time and effort to learn and the investment of money to master this skill. But mastering the skill of investing is what's going to help you to create wealth. And you guys have done this. So I was afraid completely. By the way, the number my husband gave me was $100,000 that day. My jaw hit the floor, bounced back up to the ceiling, went right, went left. I put my eyeballs back in my head and went, what? Oh my gosh, are you serious? But we went ahead and did it. And by the way, ching ching. We bought $100,000 worth of gold when it was $574 an ounce. Yeah, it's grown since then. In fact, it got up at one point up to $2,000 an ounce. So anyway, we did really, really good. And before it went up to really high, we've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into gold and to silver, and that has proven to be great. And again, it's off the table. We're not touching it. It's just sitting there, and we know that through time, it goes up, it goes down, but at the end of the day, it's going to do well, for sure. Anyway, so good job, Adalia. I'm proud of you for breaking that fear. I've had to break that fear many times. All right, we're going over to line 2. We got Diane from Laverne, California. California is on fire. It's crazy. Hi, Laverne. Actually, I shouldn't say that, huh?
Hi.
We don't want California to be on fire again. I should stop saying that. Anyway,
no,
Laverne.
Not. It's not enough.
Yeah, no, you've had enough for sure.
So, anyways, I overcame my fear last December, and we are actually even in. We have the opportunity to even think about investing because we have been clients of yours since 2012, and we went from being in debt to having a 6-figure savings, and now we're trying to figure out how to make that grow.
Hold on a second, Diane. Wait. You can't just say that. I want to scream right now. Wait a second. So you came to First Steps to Success in 2012, and you guys had all this debt. Now you have 6 figures in savings? Wow. You're an animal.
We're actually $10,000 in debt, and now we have a 6-figure savings account, and we're debt-free other than our mortgage, but because we're in Southern California, we're like trying to make our money grow first before we pay off the house.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's been exciting. It's been an exciting journey, and we're going to see you in August in Long Beach, so can't wait for that. But, so yeah, my husband gave me a little seed money. He gave me $5,000 towards an idea that I had for a product. And, we could afford to lose $5,000, so we were kind of, totally uncharted territory for us. But I came up with this product, and I designed my own branding, and I've spent $4,000 of the $5,000 in a kind of a learning curve. I have been ripped off by a few people, which has been discouraging, and those are the obstacles that have come with my lack of experience.
Okay, hold on a second, Diane. We got to cut to a quick break. Yeah. Diane, I want to hear the rest of this story. Okay. And I know others are going, what was it? What did you do? This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more, and we're going to hear what Diane did and the learning experiences that she had right after this.
Next on The Dani Johnson Show, let's identify and overcome your excuses to invest in yourself and for yourself. Stay with us.
Is God calling you to the entertainment industry? Do you want to rise for Him? Do you want to be an actor, model, singer, or dancer and shine for God? Do you think the world needs better role models? Do you want to be a star for the Most High God? Actors, models, and talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. A new generation of Christian performers is rising. Call 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. God gave you talent for a reason, and that is to shine for Him. So we are searching for actors, models, singers, and dancers. Go to amtcaudition.com to find out when and where the next free audition will be held. Entertainment is the best opportunity for Christians to change the world, and the time is now. Are you ready for that call? 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. That's actors, models, and talent for Christ. Register for your audition today. Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money, and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Dani sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today.
And now, back to more of the Dani Johnson Show.
Are you scared to do something that is not normal for you? I understand. I understand. Most of us like to stay in our little comfort zone, and we like things to just, be scheduled and routine. I hate to tell you, but that's really how I am. But venturing out and taking risks, if it wasn't for my husband, there's a lot of risks I would have never taken. One of which was investing into gold and silver. Never would have done it. He came to me saying, hey, I want to invest some money, a lot of money into gold and silver. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, is that $2,000? Is that $5,000? Because to me, that was a lot of money, even though we had made millions of dollars. But investing into gold and silver, $2,000 or $5,000, oh my gosh, it's so risky. We'd only invested into business and real estate at that point and did very well in doing that. But really, he wanted to learn some other ways of other avenues of investing to diversify our income. Well, yeah, 100 grand is what he said. What? Anyway, but we do. We tend as humans, many of us, tend to be a little bit risk adverse, and we like to just float down waters that we're used to. Well, joining me right now is Diane. She's from Laverne, California, and she's sharing that, and this is such a crazy story, that she came out to First Steps to Success 2 years ago. They had $10,000 in debt, and they learned there how to pay off all of that debt, and now they have 6 figures in savings. What? Which is amazing. And her husband gave her a little bit of seed money because she's wanting to learn to start investing into business. She took $5,000. She's invested into developing her own product. And now we're going to hear where it goes from here. So, Diane, so you said that $4,000 of it you invested into branding and all that kind of stuff, which, cracks me up. Do you have experience with that kind of stuff?
None at all. I did take a class.
Good job.
I took a class on marketing, like on social media, and how to sell on Amazon.
Good job.
Different things like that, and figure I'm kind of learning as I go.
Yep.
I trademarked my logo. All of this has cost money.
Yes.
So, it's been a learning curve, and I have to, be willing to pay for my inexperience.
Yes. Hold on right there, because that's important, Diane. This is so important, and this is where people miss it, is that either you have the experience or you're going to pay for the experience. Experience costs money no matter what. It costs money. And so right before we took that break, you said, I've had a few people, kind of screw me over a little bit. Pat yourself on the back. That means you're doing something. That is supposed to happen. That's the part you need to know, is that, oh, wait a minute, I'm actually in business now. People are actually taking from me.
People are screwing me. I'm in business.
Exactly. That is part of the experience, and learning how not to get screwed over, and learning how to put some checks and balances in place, and learning how to ask more questions, and learning how not to just take everybody's face value, and learning how to read the contracts and what they say they are going to deliver, and how to hold those people accountable. It takes time and money to learn those things, but those things are very valuable, and you're getting an education. So you haven't lost anything. You are gaining experience and value that you'll bring to the marketplace. And that is what's important. And as long as you don't quit, you're going to succeed. You're going through the natural, chartered waters of the beginning of every business. What comes with it, Diane, is a little bit of doubt, by the way. Am I doing the right?
Yes, that's why I've been stuck for a little while. Mm-hmm. But one of the big obstacles is everybody wants to take everything and make it big right away.
Yeah.
Go to China, get, 500,000 units manufactured, and I'm trying to just be faithful with the little things that I've learned from you, and just start small. And it doesn't seem like people are that interested unless you're going to be, mass producing things. So I'm fighting against that kind of mentality, and
have you had somebody that wants to buy your idea?
I haven't gone there yet, but those are the things that's why I'm glad to talk to you. It's a good idea. Instead of me doing all the work that I'm not that familiar with, if I could sell my idea to somebody, that might be even smarter.
Yes, because if the people,
so I talk to an attorney?
You can. Here's what I would look at. First of all, the people that are advising that you go to China and you do everything mass scale, are these just friends and family members, or are these business people that want to be in business with you?
Business people. Some of them want to be in business with me, yes.
Okay. So then I would
They are the ones that have also kind of scammed me. So
Isn't that awesome? Well, then check off that list. Yeah. Next, I'm not going to be in business with that person. I wouldn't go into business with somebody that's already screwed you. That's stupid. But what that means is that you probably have a really good idea of a good product. And if you've already encountered interest of other people, then that means you might be onto something. And I would be looking at, wow, maybe I could sell this idea and somebody else can manufacture it. Maybe you could go into partnership with somebody that already knows how to do the manufacturing, already knows how to get prototypes, already knows how to do a test market. So those are important things to do. Every business we've ever started, we've always started really small with our own sweat labor. But we've also always gone to find people that know how to do things that we don't know how to do. And that's a very important business key to have. So if you recognize, hey, I don't have experience here, here, and here, well, then who do you know or who can you partner with that does have that experience, that does catch this idea, and then make sure you have a non-disclosure before you present those ideas so that they cannot steal your idea. Number two, you want to make sure and have a really good contract and have a great attorney that's going to be there to watch your back to protect you in that business arrangement. So that's be what I would do. So number one, good job for saving 6 figures worth of income into savings. Amazing. Number two, good job paying off your debt. Proud of you. Number three, kudos to you and your husband for starting off with some seed money and putting it towards an idea. And next and final, great job learning how to deal with business people, and great job having some people steal from you. That means you're doing something great. And that means you're going to learn how to protect yourself and to protect your idea and take it out to market. So you don't have to know how to do everything in business. But the key thing is to find others that know how to cover your weaknesses or your liabilities of what you don't know how to do. So it sounds like you're onto something really good, and I'm really excited for you, and I can't wait to hear how it turns out. That's all I'm going to say. All right, lady, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate you being a listener on the Dani Johnson Show. Yeah, thank you. Wow. I love it when I get to hear great stories like that. That's incredible. And you know what? That's the entrepreneurial spirit that I believe that is in all of us. It is. It's in every single one of us. The first humans on this planet, they had to be entrepreneurs in order to survive. They grew their own food. They bartered with other people that grew food that they wanted to eat, right? Some people did cows, some people did sheep, some people did crops. So they had to learn how to grow something, create value, and trade was their commodity. But through time, business is what really all of us have inside of us to be a part of in one way or another. So investing into business, I think, is very, very wise. I wouldn't be sitting in the financial situation that we're in today if I hadn't started in business at the age of 19. So if that's one place. So again, we're talking about investing. We're doing our best to field whatever investing questions that you might have. I do not have all the answers on it. I've got small-time investment girl who's made millions of dollars investing into some very specific places and some skill sets that we've had to learn along the way, as well as a lot of mistakes that we've made. So if you would like help in that direction, or if you've overcome your fear and you have made investments already, we would like to hear that story too. 844-200-3264. Dani, why should I invest? Because you want your money to grow for you. That's why. Instead of you being a slave to it, make it your slave. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue after this.
Which came first, the chicken or the egg? If you're struggling with money now, can you invest now? Dani Johnson talks about that next.
Radio talk show host Dani Johnson in Kadwa, Haiti.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson, and I'm here with Vida in her tiny little home. This home is the size of many people's closets in the United States of America. Now, we're sitting on a bed, just a piece of sheet or plastic that these beautiful babies sleep on. They have nothing. This family has nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Won't you do something? The Bible says that if you ignore the cry of the poor, then you too will cry and be ignored. They're not asking for nice clothes. They're asking for food. That's it. Food, water. You can help. We want to build her a home. We want to bring water, clean, fresh water here. But we can't do it alone. We need you.
Help us radically change a community. Go to kingsransom.org to make your donation to Kadwa Haiti. That's kingsransom.org.
You tell yourself that life isn't that bad. You relish the small pleasures. Drive-through coffee, big screen TV, vacations bought on credit cards. But that's as good as life gets unless you take a leap of faith. This is millionaire author, radio and television show host Dani Johnson, inviting you to join me for 2 days where you will acquire the skills to make the life you crave a reality. Call now 844-200-DANI or visit firststepstosuccess.com.
Hello.
Improving the quality of your life. The Dani Johnson Show.
I love it.
Dani, I'm barely making it. We have way more month left over than money. Are you kidding me? Becoming an investor? That's crazy. Listen. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. This is hour 2. We're talking about money and learning how to invest. Now, I'm not teaching a class on investing here today on the Dani Johnson Show, but I am talking about the beginning steps of not ending up in that 98% place that ends up dead or dead broke at the age of 65, but learning to cross over into that 2% place where people are financially independent, and those who are financially independent have become investors. That doesn't mean it's a full-time job. What that does mean is they have made investments. They have taken risks. My first investment and first risk was into business at the age of 19. My second risk in business was at 20, and that was into my education, going to training seminars, learning about business and about people and marketing and money, learning how to make that business that I invested into work. My third investment was another business. And then my fourth investment was another business. And then my fifth investment actually was a house. And we've been making investments ever since then. We have always taken money and looked at it, not always, by the way, not always, let me take that back. My first 10 years of making money, we were stupid with our money. Although we did keep investing into business, and that had made us millions of dollars. And we did invest into real estate as well, buying and selling houses, flipping them, taking an old dog and making her look really, really pretty and making a quick $100,000 on her. We've done that several times, including one particular property out in the South Pacific in Bora Bora that we made over $3 million on that one transaction in 3 years. So anyway, and we've got lots of land investments and stuff like that. But through the years, we've had some hard lessons learned in investing. We've made some, we've lost some, we've made a lot, we've lost a lot. However, there's some simple little steps that we've done to diversify our income. And one of the things that we learned early on from several different millionaires that we had learned from was to take money and make it your slave. Don't be a slave to money, but learn how to turn money into your slave so that you are not working for it, but that it is working for you. That sets something off in our heads because we only knew the concept of working for money and being a slave to it, and then a slave to our debt, a slave to the conveniences that we were now addicted to, or the kind of clothing that we were now addicted to that we somehow needed. But as soon as we began to learn to think like an investor, to think like somebody who was in that 2%, it began to work for us. And that's what we're talking about today. So if you have overcome the fear of investing, how did you do that? Where did you start? Or if you need help in that direction, like you want to understand more about that. And again, I'm not talking Wall Street stuff. I'm talking basics, man. I didn't come from Wall Street. I came from welfare. So when you come from welfare, you're nowhere near Wall Street, and you don't. And investment is a big giant word, and it's like, I don't even know what that means. But in all reality, I've learned through trial and error. Both my husband and I have learned through trial and error how to invest, and more importantly, how to plan for the future, how to look at different types of investments, and hopefully to make some wise decisions. And we've made some wise decisions, and we've made some really stupid decisions too. So we're going to be sharing all that right here with you today on the second hour of the Dani Johnson Show. Again, the phone number is 844 Again, 844-200-3264. 844-200-3264. Over here, I'm going to line 6. We got Daryl from Alberta, Canada. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hello, and thank you for having me on.
Sure.
I overcame the fear of risk of investing, basically, first of all, being sick and tired. I was 27 at the time, and wow, I was in the same financial position I was 5 years previously.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started reading books. It took me a number of years before I got hooked up with the DJC community and started going through war and debt and financial independence and that kind of stuff. And then I also heard about our mutual friend, Dr. Elliott, and got on the phone with him and started connecting with him. But I think for me, what was very difficult in the beginning, too, is there's so many voices that say, do this, do that, and you're not sure because you don't have the results who to listen to. And
Yep.
I found that pretty tricky, especially even family, friends. I know one guy who's a VP of sales with a big oil company who's doing pretty well for himself that kind of looks down on investing in gold and silver and precious metals. So I'm like, well, do I believe this guy or that guy? But then you look at everybody and make the best decision and keep listening and learning. And that's why I appreciate your show and others, so I can learn from people that have accomplished and just refine what I'm doing.
Yeah. You know what, Daryl, I'm really proud of you that you realized after 5 years, at 27 years old, I mean, for you to have that revelation is really awesome. It says a lot about you that after 5 years and you're 27 going, hello, I'm in the same financial position that I was not too long ago. This has to change. And so you started to pick up books and you started to learn and you started to hear other voices. And that's really wise. And then you started to invest into training seminars and training materials and shows like this. That's wise. That's all. You're heading in the absolute right direction. And as long as you don't get off of that path, you're going to do very well for yourself. But you brought something up that is hugely important. There's a lot of voices out there. And you have to learn to discern timing and people's motives. And the Bible says that a wise man has a lot of wise counselors. And that's what you've got. So even the VP of sales, okay, so if he's against the place that you chose to make an investment into, then what is he for? And so spend time getting inside of his head. Okay, so man, you really intrigued me, and I really respect you for your success being the vice president of a big oil company. So what kind of investments do you recommend, and how did you learn those markets, and how well have they worked, and what things should I stay away from? Ask those questions. Interview those people who have success, and you might find out that he has none in investing. You might find out that he's totally broke and he's got $1 million worth of debt. Or you might find out that, and again, you're looking for his results. You're not looking for his opinion. You're looking for his results. And that's the thing you always got to focus on, is people's results. Lots of people can sell some great ideas, and especially be aware of some of them books. Woo! My husband lost $100,000 all in one day from investing in the stock market from one author, that Hans was reading up from. And this guy is no longer around. He was big and popular in 1999 and in 2000. And Hans followed. It was all about day trading. And again, Hans was brand new to it. He was just testing it out, and we had too much money. And so he was investing and playing around with the stock market as a rookie. Instead of using a little bit of money, he used a bit of money, and we lost it all. So, and ended up owing the stockbroker money, about $4,000 actually. So it is important to cross-reference all experts. It really is important to do that, and to always base it on results and also timing. So I think you're on the wise path, and I'm really proud of you for breaking the fear of investing and just dipping in and doing something. So continue to learn, because you're going to do very, very well, and you're still really, really young. So you're going to do great. Daryl, thanks so much for being a listener on the Dani Johnson Show, all the way from Alberta, Canada. We appreciate you tremendously. Okay, we've got Tim from South Carolina. Tim, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, thanks.
Welcome.
Hey, so, thank you. I was a missionary planting churches for a long time, and about 3 years ago, we decided that we needed to do something different, and so we had no retirement or any savings of any kind. We were basically just living week to week, and surviving always. And a lot of great things have happened, and a lot of trying things have happened. And so I'm 45 now. My wife and I have planted 5 churches, but we really are feeling led to just kind of be quiet and have a peaceful future. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does. I know exactly what you're saying.
Okay, so we're at 45 with nothing.
Yeah.
And we've got 4 kids. They're doing great. We're, by the grace of God, we've survived this far. And the kids are all happy. Everybody's doing good. But we know that we don't have any financial future. We don't have any financial plan.
Yeah.
So we are just trying to get started. And I don't know. I thought I should call. So
I think it's awesome that you are calling. I do. I think it's awesome that you are calling, and thanks for the work that you've done with spreading the gospel of peace and the gospel of Jesus Christ and making that your life's work up to this point. And I completely understand what you're talking about of having a more peaceful life moving forward. I'll just say this, sheep bite. We'll leave it right there. You and your wife have been shepherds, and sheep bite. There does come a point where it'd be nice not to have a public life and nice not to have that pressure on your children as well. Completely understand where you're coming from, man. I do. Anyway, so, hey, you know what? I'm also 45. So I know about where your kids are right now, where you're at in life. And what I can tell you is, dude, we're still young. I know we might be swimming in the sea of denial, but we're still young. Yeah. We really are. And there's no time better than now to start fresh and start new. And if you have started churches and planted churches, guess what? You can start a business. You can start a business. Yeah. You can start a business. All the skill sets that it takes to start a church are the same skill sets that it takes to start a business. You have been selling, whether you realize it or not, the gospel. You've been selling a business and a vision. And that is exactly what business people do. They sell a service or a product, and they sell it to a people, and they sell the vision, and they get people to rally around it. They start with nothing. And so you know how to start with nothing, and you know how to build it to something, and you know how to multiply it. So listen to this too. You have an apostolic gift. And an apostolic gift is a CEO who can start companies. It's the same gifting. I don't know if you have the book, not First Steps to Wealth, but Spirit-Driven Success. Have you heard about that book?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's an international bestseller. This book is going to rock your world. It basically builds the bridge between the marketplace and ministry of how does it really look. It's chapter by chapter. Spirit-Driven Success. You'll find it at Amazon. You can find it at DaniJohnson.com. You can find it at Walmart, Barnes & Nobles. You can find it anywhere. But it's Spirit-Driven Success, chapter by chapter, all scripturally based, that how business and church is exactly the same thing. Hold on. I want you to hold on because I got a gift for you, too. So this is Dani Johnson. We got to take a quick break. We're going to come back and finish this conversation with Tim.
Ready to take that leap of faith and step out on your own? That's coming up next on The Dani Johnson Show.
Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money, and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Dani sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today. Is God calling you to the entertainment industry? Do you want to rise for Him? Do you want to be an actor, model, singer, or dancer and shine for God? Do you think the world needs better role models? Do Do you want to be a star for the Most High God? Actors, models, and talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. A new generation of Christian performers is rising. Call 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. God gave you talent for a reason, and that is to shine for Him. So we are searching for actors, models, singers, and dancers. Go to amtcaudition.com to find out when and where the next free audition will be held. Entertainment is the best opportunity for Christians to change the world, and the time is now. Are you ready for that call? 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. That's actors, models, and talent for Christ. Register for your audition today.
If you're a Christian who's paying too much for healthcare, you're going to love Medishare. It's a nationwide community of believers who share each other's medical bills. It's affordable. Families average around $300 a month, and it's accepted by America's largest network of health providers. Plus, the healthcare law has a special provision for Medishare members, so you're exempt from any tax penalties. But here's the best part. Medishare is based on the timeless principles found in God's Word. You never have to pay for things that go against your beliefs. Medishare is healthcare the way God meant it to be.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your health care. For your free information guide, call 855-90-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. Medishare, affordable biblical health care. Call 855-90-BIBLE. That's 855-90-BIBLE.
Dani Johnson here, and you're listening to The Dani Johnson Show with tens of thousands of people just like you. People thinking about what you think about, talking about what you talk about, and needing the same products and services you need. It's a place where like-minded consumers gather, savvy business owners, marketing directors, and responsive individuals making significant buying decisions. From consumer home goods and services to business products, people just like you needing the same things you need. They should be buying your product and service or doing business with your company. I'd love to help. To find out how to advertise on this show, email info@intelerep.com. That's info at INTELEREP.com or call 251-928-9400. That's info@intelerep.com or 251-928-9400.
Radio talk show host Dani Johnson in Kadwa, Haiti.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson, and I'm here with Vida in her tiny little home. This home is the size of many people's closets in the United States of America. Now, we're sitting on a bed, just a piece of sheet or plastic that these beautiful babies sleep on. They have nothing. This family has nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Won't you do something? The Bible says that if you ignore the cry of the poor, then you too will cry and be ignored. They're not asking for nice clothes. They're asking for food. That's it. Food, water. You can help. We want to build her a home. We want to bring water, clean, fresh water here. But we can't do it alone. We need you.
Help us radically change a community. Go to kingsransom.org to make your donation to Kadwa, Haiti. That's kingsransom.org.
Helping you get a grip on your priorities and your focus. The Dani Johnson Show. Here's Dani Johnson.
I love it. I love those that are listening to this show. I love the diversity that we have. You know, right here we've got Tim on the line. He's called in about investments. He's 45. He and his wife are 45. They got 4 children, and they've been in full-time ministry, starting churches, planting churches, basically as missionaries for their entire time. And now he's like, we're ready for a change. We're ready for something different. And we just finished talking about the fact that he actually has business skills that he wasn't even aware of. Now, Tim, I'm about to blow your mind with something, and I do have a gift for you. I want to give you a gift to sow into you. Okay, now, in Spirit-Driven Success, now, it might not shock you, but it shocked me. When I began to read the Bible, which I believe is the best success book ever written, when I began to read it cover to cover, I had something revealed to me. And it got revealed to me starting in Genesis. And that was that Abraham was not a minister. He was not a church planter. He was not an evangelist. He was a businessman. And Noah wasn't a pastor. He wasn't an evangelist, okay? He was a farmer. And he liked to drink his product a lot, right? So then when I began to look at all the greats of faith that we hear taught from the pulpit every Sunday, right? Wow, you go to Abraham, to Isaac. What was Isaac? Was he a pastor? Was he an evangelist? Was he a teacher? No. What was he? A wealthy businessman, just like his father. What about Jacob?
I was going to say he was a trust fund baby.
Well, no, check it out. He was a generational businessman. That's what he was. Generational. Dad built this huge business, passed the business down to the son. The son had to maintain and grow that business. And then Jacob actually did not inherit that business. Jacob had to start from nothing. But see, he grew up around business and he became very successful in business and very influential, obviously still influential in the world today. I'm talking about him. His name is Israel. God changed his name to Israel, who, by the way, historically are the best business people in the world, by the way. And for per capita, of the population, the wealthiest people in the world, Israel. All right. So King David, okay, we see King David as a pastor. We see King David as a worshiper. But King David was a king. He was a political leader. He was a businessman. He was an investor. He was a warrior. And as a side thing, he liked to sing and write songs. But we see David as a full-time worship leader. Isn't that strange? So when you do all of your historical study of the Bible without having religion attached to it, right, what we've learned in seminary or whatever, and go, wow, what was Daniel? Well, he didn't know he was a prophet. Neither did Jeremiah. But he was a political advisor. Oh, my goodness. Wait a second. So these people that the Bible talks about were all in the marketplace. All of them. And that's what spirit-driven success talks about. It talks about the skill sets that the Bible teaches us on how to succeed in business, in our careers, as well as in our churches. But you already have a baseline of skill set. So I want to give you a copy of First Steps to Wealth. If you don't already have it, write down this phone number. You get an ebook now of the physical book. So the phone number to call the office to get your copy right now, and this is a gift from us to you, and it's going to show you how to start a business. 866-760. Yep, 760-8255. Again, that's 866-760-8255. Tell them that you just hung up on the phone with me and that you want to get your ebook free copy of First Steps to Wealth. And then if you want the physical copy, you pay the shipping to get the $15 book to your house and we'll send it to you. That book is going to teach you, it's going to show you, you're going to see like, oh, I do have those skills. Oh, that's really all that it takes. Where to start. But 45 is a great place to start. For a brand new life, for a brand new business, and I believe you got the baseline skills for it. So that would be my recommendation. You need to pray. You need to pray about it, obviously, but I'm going to pray that God gives you a divine idea and that you run with it. And it may be starting with somebody else's product that's already established or somebody else's service that's already established. It might be something you work from home. It might be something you do from a storefront. But I am confident that you got everything inside of you already based on your track record to become very, very successful in business. So, yes, stay in touch because I want to hear how the Lord leads you.
Okay.
Yes. God bless you, Tim. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Man, what an awesome story. Very exciting. Anyway, we're taking more of your calls for investing. Wow, what do I invest into? Again, I'm not talking about Wall Street. I'm not talking about Wall Street advice because I'm not a Wall Street girl. I was the welfare chick who was homeless who became a millionaire. Hello? And I did it through investing into various different things. So I can just give you starting from the bottom. That's about all I can give you. How to start from the bottom and end up somewhere on top. 844-200-3264 is that number. I look forward to talking to you soon. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Coming up, the Dani Johnson version of A Penny Saved is a Penny Earned. Keep it right here.
Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money, and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Dani sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today.
Ever wondered how to advertise on the Dani Johnson Show with tens of thousands of people just like you listening, thinking about the things you do, talking about the things you do, and needing products and services you need? Savvy business owners and marketing directors advertise on the Dani Johnson Show. Advertise your products or services on the Dani Johnson Show. Email info@intellerep.com or call 251-928-9400. 251-928-9400.
Giving you the playbook to design your life. This is the Dani Johnson Show. And now, here's Dani.
Oftentimes, we find ourselves in this microwave society that wants everything to go really fast, and we're always looking for quick results. But I came across this passage that I have to share with you. It's written from the best success book ever written. And if this is your first time listening to the Dani Johnson Show, you don't know what that book is. Meaning you don't know that it's the best success book ever written. It's called the Bible. Best, soundest, most phenomenal wisdom for finances, your family, for business, health, you name it. It's all in this amazing, and love and romance and sex, as well as all kinds of drama. It's all in that book. But anyway, Proverbs 13:11, really Proverbs talks a lot about money. But it says this: wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. You see, wealth is accumulated. Riches are something that people try to run for, and riches always seem to run a little faster than you. Even if you think you're a marathon runner or a sprinter, it always runs a little faster than you. But we live in this microwave mentality that says, now, I got to produce a result right now. And I remember when my husband had come to me about investing into gold and silver. And I was very risk adverse. I was. Even though I had invested into several companies, not like Wall Street, meaning starting our own companies. I started my first business at 19. By 21, I had started 3. And still to this day, I have businesses from when I was 21 years old. The original business I started from the trunk of my car in a payphone booth. I still have remuneration from those businesses. And I came from welfare. I don't come from Wall Street. But being an investor, I was really comfortable investing into business. I was very comfortable investing into training seminars, teaching me how to do that. I wasn't initially, obviously. I was scared to death. But once I broke that fear and I made those first investments, then I started to learn. I started to apply what I learned and started to get good at it. And then investments into real estate. That was, very safe territory for me. My first house I kind of messed up on. No, I did mess up on. But we've done really, really well investing into real estate, into raw land, as well as vacation homes, or into flipping homes, like buy a house, live in it for 2 years, change the paint, change the paint that's on the cabinets, make the ugly house look nice, and then flip it and make a quick $100,000, which we've made most of the time, a minimum of $100,000. We've lost some on a couple, but we've also made over $3 million on just one transaction. But anyway, so that kind of stuff I was pretty comfortable with. But when my husband approached me about gold and silver, this was like something totally new. I was a little scared. And here's the reason why I'm talking about it, because right here it says that wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. And so we were of the mentality of what can we make and fast. That was our mentality the first 10 years, and we ended up broke at the end of 10 years. We were flat broke. We made so much money, and we blew it all. It was sad. We spent everything that we made. No matter if we were making $5,000 a month or $50,000 a month, we blew everything that we made. And there you go. That wealth gained hastily will dwindle. We experienced the dwindle. But he who gathers it little by little will increase it. Increase happens through time and over time. But we have a tendency of wanting to do the fast stuff. And the fast stuff, even, for example, in 99 and in 2000, my husband picked up a couple of books. And I'm not going to say the guy's name. He's no longer anywhere to be found because a lot of people lost everything using his techniques in the stock market. But he was the big guru at the time, and you'll never guess what he was selling. Day trading. Making money fast, right? Single trades. He was selling in this book how he'd make $10,000 in a single trade, $100,000 in a single trade. And that's back in the days when we didn't have the understanding that wealth is accumulated through time, and that wealth that is built hastily dwindles. So because of the mentality that we had a poverty mentality. We came from major poverty families, no financial education. Both of us grew up on welfare. So for us, the natural tendency when you learn how to make a lot of money is you spend a lot of money and you don't have any left over and you think it's going to last forever. That's just this natural thought that it's going to last forever. And it's not. After 10 years, that was the first lesson. Nothing lasts forever. So obviously, the mentality that we had, we were attracted to those types of books that were teaching us how to make a lot of money fast. That's what we were attracted to. Why? Because poverty is a spirit that dwelled inside of us, and it attracts like spirits. So those that typically will write those kinds of things of making money fast and getting rich fast, a lot of those people, unfortunately, end up dying broke when it's all said and done. Yeah, there's people that make millions and they die broke. It's a fact. People that make millions, they spend millions. They live foolish lives. But once we learned the other way, and again, Hans lost $100,000 in the stock market all in one day. And that happened March 17th of 2000. There's a lot of people who lost their retirements, all of that stuff at that time. So I say all this to say this. Be patient. You see, everybody else wants to do it fast, right? Everybody's looking for quick riches to come. Looking for quick solutions to annihilate their debt, quick solutions to lose weight. Everybody wants what's fast. Well, if 98% of the population ends up dead or dead broke at the age of 65, dependent on their family, friends, and federal government for their main source of income, and only 2% of the population will be financially independent, well, all you really have to do is do the opposite of 98% if you want to succeed. Look what everybody else is doing and do the opposite. You've heard that before. I'm not the first to say it, and I won't be the last to say it either. But just look at how everybody else is doing it. So those who are trying to become wealthy, most of them are chasing after get-rich-quick scams. Most of them are looking for the quickest possible way to make the most with the least amount of effort. That's a poverty-driven mentality. That's what that is. But those that will accumulate using wisdom through time, little by little. Who wrote that book, Proverbs? The richest man that ever lived, Solomon. The richest man. They have calculated the riches that he had during that time, turned it into today's money, and there is nobody on earth today that comes close to rivaling the riches that King Solomon had. So he probably gives the best, soundest financial advice. He passed down his riches down to his sons. Unfortunately, he didn't pass down the love of God down to his sons. However, his kingdom is still alive on the planet, meaning through his father, David. So anyway, slow down. Riches will come, but don't run after them. But wealth is what you're really after. Financial independence is what you're after. So I encourage you, don't run after that. So when it comes to investing, be aware of that thing that wants to pull you in the direction of more. here's another tip I can give you when it comes to investing. Again, this isn't Wall Street. This is like welfare recipient who was homeless that now is a millionaire, okay? Big difference between myself and the Wall Street people and the advice that they're going to give, all right? But one of the things that I've learned is to always cross-reference things and to start small. Don't start big. Start small. So when different types of opportunities come up, you know, we've had oil opportunities come up. We've had cattle opportunities come up. We believe in testing small first and learning with the small portion. And as we test and learn with the small portion, then we can scale. We can put more into growing it more through time. But if you've got this thing in you, which is really greed, that says, oh, well, this little thing is working out, let's go all in. No, slow down. Be wise. Again, wealth is accumulated, small increases at a time. I don't know if you remember, but a few months back, I was talking about this school teacher that saved $1 million. And through investing, so he would save. He lived a very frugal life. He'd save. He learned to make these little investments here and there. Nothing big, just small. And he became a millionaire on a school teacher's salary. Come on now, we know how much school teachers don't make, okay? So moderate income, but because he did it small and he saved money, and then he learned to invest a portion of that savings, and he began to grow it and just saved what he earned, and he accumulated a crazy, beautiful amount of money. So anyway, that's pretty awesome. And that means that you can too, and it is not too late. But Dani, I'm 70 years old. Hey, honey, you might live to be 120. There's still a lot in you. So don't think it's too late. Or you might be thinking, I'm 14. I'm too young. No, you're not. No, you're not. I know of a 15-year-old who bought his first house at the age of 15 and now has renters, and he manages this property, and he's making money every single month on an investment that he made. So you're never too young, and I don't think you're ever too old to begin to start putting on this mindset and begin to make those small investments. Start somewhere, start small. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Working to achieve happiness in life is not easy. Advice, life stories from callers on the air, solutions, a beacon of hope. Stay tuned for more of The Dani Johnson Show.
Radio talk show host Dani Johnson in Kadwa, Haiti.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson, and I'm here with Frida in her tiny little home. This home is the size of many people's closets in the United States of America. Now, we're sitting on a bed, just a piece of sheet or plastic that these beautiful babies sleep on. They have nothing. This family has nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Won't you do something? The Bible says that if you ignore the cry of the poor, then you too will cry and be ignored. They're not asking for nice clothes. They're asking for food. That's it. Food, water. You can help. We want to build her a home. We want to bring water, clean, fresh water here. But we can't do it alone. We need you.
Help us radically change a community. Go to kingsransom.org to make your donation to Kadwa, Haiti. That's kingsransom.org.
Is God calling you to the entertainment industry? Do you want to rise for Him? Do you want to be an actor, model, singer, or dancer and shine for God? Do you think the world needs better role models? Do you want to be a star for the Most High God? Actors, models, and talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. A new generation of Christian performers is rising. Call 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. God gave you talent for a reason, and that is to shine for Him. So we are searching for actors, models, singers, and dancers. Go to amtcaudition.com to find out when and where the next free audition will be held. Entertainment is the best opportunity for Christians to change the world, and the time is now. Are you ready for that call? 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. That's actors, models, and talent for Christ. Register for your audition today.
We're back. Here's Dani Johnson.
Okay, so there I was in Las Vegas. What? Dani Johnson, you were in Las Vegas. I hate that city. I really do. And I will never do, or I better not say that, but I will not do a seminar. I will not do a business, finance, and relationship training seminar in Las Vegas. I just won't do it. I will not bring families to that city. I know you might be thinking right now, well, Dani, you shouldn't be saying that about hey, it's my personal opinion. But anyway, there I was in Las Vegas. It's about 11 years ago, coming up here real soon, 11 years ago when we first started DaniJohnson.com. And I was speaking for a company. And this company, I was trying to vet this company out. I was trying to get to know these two owners. They were young guys, and they were very successful. They were very, very good at what they did. They owned an ad agency, and they brought me in to do some training to their salespeople. And so, anyway, the training ends, and they invite me to go with them to one of the tables. They are going to play blackjack, in fact. Anyway, these guys were badgering me, right? They were badgering me. It was a whole group of us that were there, all right? And I was trying to just study them, get to know them, see if there would be any kind of a business arrangement between us and them, and trying to get to see them after they've had a couple of cocktails maybe, and see really what the kind of things are they talked about and how they conduct themselves, and see if I really want to be in business with them. So anyway, there we are. We're at the blackjack table. The president of the company buys $200 in what do you call those things? Not coins, chips. And the dealer puts it in front of me, and I said, I'm not playing. No way. He says, you have to. I just bought those chips. Those are now yours. You got to play. Well, I don't gamble. I like to play cards, and this is not the kind of cards that I play. So no matter how much I resisted, they kept persisting, and immediately I lost the $200 in chips and thought, okay, they won't do that again, right? Whatever. So then the vice president decides to buy $200 worth of chips. He says, you're going to play, and we're going to keep buying these chips until you decide to learn how to play this game. Okay, fine. So then I start to ask them for advice. They both were up. One was up $4,500. The other was up $5,000, right? Okay, now this is not, I do not encourage people to gamble. I think that's stupid. Buying lottery tickets is stupid. Gambling is stupid. Stupid. It is just stupid, all right? I don't think it's wise things to do with your money. But there I am. They're buying me in, right? And they're not letting me out. So check it out. So I start, again, I know from business, all right, you find someone who has a track record, learn from them. These guys were making money, and the night before, one of them won around $9,000. So I'm like, they got a system here. I want to learn the system. So sure enough, I started asking questions, and I'm just telling him, tell me what to do, tell me what to do. I won $9,500 in an hour and a half. But hold on a second. I have to tell you what I did. So each time I won, I took the chips, I put it in my purse, and I only left $500 worth of chips out on the table. So then I won another $1,500, took $1,000 of it, put it in my purse, only left the $500 out. So then I won $2,800. I took all those chips, put it in my purse. I didn't keep all my winnings in front of me, and I gave myself a limit that as soon as I lose this $500, I'm out of here. Well, I made $9,500 in, an hour and a half. It was amazing. Have I ever gone back to play again? Nope. Will I? Nope. As far as I can tell you, nope. I will never do that again. That was a moment. But here's what I want to tell you. You're saying, why are you sharing this stupid story with me? Because the reason why I'm sharing it is this. You have to learn to take the chips off the table. You have to learn to take the money off the table, and you have to give yourself a budget and don't go over the budget. That's how you learn to invest. Now, what happened in Vegas was not investing. Those two, that vice president and that president of that company, invested $400 in chips into me, and I just learned from them what to do, and I yielded $9,500. I tried to give them the $9,500. They wouldn't take it. So I took that $9,500, and I took it home. So, not the chips, but the money. So my point is this. When it comes to investing and when it comes to money, you have to understand that money is seed and it's designed to grow. That's what it's designed to do. It comes with all the right parts to grow. And the key is that you take a portion of money that you make every month, or is it every week, or every dollar that you make, you set aside a portion, you take it off the table so you don't invest, so you don't spend it on something stupid like shoes or things like that, but instead, or more clothes or more food. But instead, you take that money off the table as though it was never even yours, and then you put that in a place where that money can grow, like seed. Planting corn in your garden. You plant a seed, you reap a what do you call that thing? Cob that has, well, the average they say is 256 seeds on one cob. But you gotta take the money off of the table and then learn to invest it into places. Now money is going to grow even while you are sleeping, okay? All right, so we're talking about investing. We're talking about the very beginning stages of doing that so that you can get your money working for you. This is not Wall Street talk, friend, so you don't have to go to sleep. This is simple, basic stuff. I grew up on welfare and I've made millions of dollars from investing. And I'm not talking about the kind of investing that you typically see on TV or hear about or read in books. I'm talking the basics here. The basics. All right, so going over here to Amira from Texas. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, Dani. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
My question is, my husband and I were 33, and so we're fairly
young.
Still young. And, you know, I guess my question is like, how do we know what's a good investment to invest into? I mean, I know besides investing to ourselves, that's priceless, but I find myself, hearing all these things, and I just don't know what to believe, you know, what's good, what's bad. Yep. We've invested into hard assets, and I kind of regretted it because I didn't really know much about hard assets like gold and silver, but, you know, I was just doing it because I heard it was the good thing to do. So I guess my question is, how do I know that I'm being directed in the right way instead of listening to Garbo?
Exactly. And there's a lot of Garbo out there, honey. Because there's always somebody selling something. You know what I mean? There's always somebody selling something. And as long as you are looking at and following the money trail, then you can kind of find what motives are. Whether they're pure or not doesn't really matter. It does matter, but everyone has motives. So let's start here. Why do you regret investing into gold and silver?
Well, because I think about 6 months ago, I saw like everything, it just like dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really, and then I knew that I didn't really know that much about it. So I felt, you know, kind of bad that I invested in something that I knew nothing about, which was, I felt kind of stupid.
Okay, listen to me. This is the first part that you need to understand, okay?
Okay.
Is investing is not short-term game, honey. It's not short-term game. It is long-term. So you actually made a wise investment into gold and silver. Just because it came down 6 months ago, that doesn't mean anything. Years from now, it's going to be greater than what you bought it at. Let me give you an example. 2005, my husband bought $100,000 worth of gold at $574 an ounce. That then eventually went up to $2,000 an ounce. It's never come back down to $500 an ounce. So through time, honey, investment is long-term. It is not short-term. And that's one of the first things you got to get through your head. No, girlfriend, pat yourself on the back that you invested. That was wise. You did the right thing. This is Dani Johnson. I hope that today you've enjoyed the Dani Johnson Show. We'll be joining you again tomorrow for another intriguing concept or content or answering your questions or helping you whatever way it is that you want help. We're here to help you. This is Dani Johnson. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
With all the changes happening in healthcare, Christians want to know, is there any option that's God-honoring, affordable, and acceptable under the law? The answer is Medishare. It's not insurance. It's a nationwide community of believers who share each other's medical bills. Unlike individual insurance plans, which are now required to cover the morning after pill, your healthcare dollars never pay for things that go against your beliefs. There's no enrollment period, so you could sign up anytime. You choose your doctors from America's largest provider network. And yes, it's affordable. Family options average around $300 a month. Medishare is healthcare Christians can believe in.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your health care. For your free information guide, call 855-90-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. Medishare, affordable biblical health care. Call 855-90-BIBLE. That's 855-90-BIBLE.
tell yourself that life isn't that bad. You relish the small pleasures. Drive-through coffee, big screen TV, vacations bought on credit cards. But that's as good as life gets unless you take a leap of faith. This is millionaire author, radio and television show host Dani Johnson, inviting you to join me for 2 days where you will acquire the skills to make the life you crave a reality. Call now 844-200-DANI or visit firststepstosuccess.com.